want to follow up on this idea of how music can take over our bodies in some way. And Connie, I want to bring you into this because you're a music therapist. I mean, you have very up close. You have worked with people whose lives have been transformed by music.
Sure.
How do you explain that? I mean, tell me about some of the kinds of people you've worked with.
Well, you know, it's interesting because we're talking about thinking about doing, you know, how much we think when we do music. The patients I work with usually can't think about how to do something again because of a brain injury. They can't think about how to walk if they have Parkinson's disease, or they can't think about how to initiate a movement, or maybe how to speak because speech has been damaged through a stroke. But yet there's something about the music and the temporal structure of the music, the emotional content of the music that arouses these areas of the brain, I assume, that is still functioning, that allow that ability to come present, to become present as they're participating in the music. For example, the patients in Awakenings that Oliver Sacks wrote about were the patients we worked with, you know, and before the L-Dopa really took in, it was music and rhythm that allowed them to walk.
So some of these are people who literally cannot speak, but
right.
But with music somehow that opens them up. And the
it speaks to the structures that are shared with music perception, music ability, and other types of brain function that take over from motor function and speech.
And aren't there stories about how people can actually sing musical lyrics even when they can't carry on a conversation?
Sure. Well, people who have a stroke in Broca's area, a non-fluent aphasia, many times can sing a song perfectly well, and that's because of a dominance on the right side of the brain, so of the Broca's homologue of that ability. So, and many times, you know, in neurology, from the neurologists I spoke to, they often use that as a parlor trick where they'd have somebody who had aphasia and couldn't speak sing a song and say, look, you know, they could do that. The challenge way back when was that it was just assumed that just because a person could sing, they would never recover speech, that the brain has been damaged, there's no chance for plasticity and recovery. But yet over time we saw in our clinic with our patients that indeed if they were using music and speech within the structure of music and song, that some of these elements of speech came back. And it really spoke to the fact that there must be shared processes that inform the brain through music.